Come on, let's go. Let's go. Louie, who's that? You recognize them? Oh, you do recognize them. Yeah, oh my goodness. There you go, boy. There you go. That's good. He's been doing so good. There you go, boy.
You're being so good.
Yeah. Oh, take it off. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Say we got dirty. Had to take a bath this morning. But that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah. Rolled around in some dirt and I was like, yeah, we'll get a bath. It's okay.
Was he good for you for the bath?
Oh yeah.
You did okay?
No problem. I asked him to sit and I just bathed him.
Yeah.
I have a little wash station. I just washed him down and bathed him, you know, sprayed him down with the shampoo and stuff, and he was fine. Yeah. Good boy.
You love Christian too.
Oh yeah, we're best friends.
Why'd you give Evan the flu?
Huh?
Why'd you give Evan the flu?
I know. I know. How are they doing?
Well, he's training her, but
yeah.
She's doing great. But he was supposed to be here today, and he texted me and said, "I'm in the bed with the flu." I'm like, "You stay home."
Yeah, I had the flu last weekend.
It's going to my neighbors. All my neighbors' kids, they all had the flu last week.
Yeah, because we were supposed to do this last weekend, and I was gone. I was in bed all day, like all weekend. I thought I was like about to die. I was like, oh god. Yeah, so I guess it's Evan's turn.
Yeah, everybody's gonna get it for something.
I know, yeah. Daddy go boy. Yeah. Daddy go boy. There you go. Cool.
You're doing so good.
Yeah. So today's mostly just he's doing great with everything, and I'm just proofing stuff. So today's mostly just I wanted to see if it changed with you guys.
With us, yeah.
Yeah. Because if it changed, then I know I have to adjust. Right.
100%.
And as long as everything goes good, then this last week I'm just going to be finishing proofing, and then I'm going to talk to him today. But I know you want to say hi.
I'm excited now.
And probably just have him go home like next weekend type thing. And everything. But yeah, today's just mostly I just want to walk around with you guys. I want to see what he's doing.
And he kind of lost a week, you know.
Yeah.
It took him some time.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he took a little extra time, a little longer than I thought that first week. Because like he was extra nervous. Like, you know, I had basically spent every day
I'm
just
not completely
sitting
surprised.
in his kennel.
Yeah.
I was just basically sitting
I was afraid that was going to happen. I was like,
He is,
he's kind of like a little monster until you really earn his trust. No, but like, you know, he's in there, and he's looking all rowdy. You know?
Like from like the outside perspective, you don't know what you're looking at. It's like, oh, like that's scary,
it's
right?
all fear
But it's all just
that's like I say that because like my family, who aren't like true dog people, like they're like, are you sure he's safe? I'm like, he is.
He is. Like,
they're like, I don't know. He's always trying to eat me. And I'm like, he's just like mouthing you. Like, he's not trying to hurt you.
Yeah. No, one of my kennel techs was like, I don't know. He's like extra, and I was like, he's fine. Like, honestly, it's okay. I'm like,
well, it's good because you met him ahead of time, so you know he's actually a sweet boy. But he gets nervous around new people, and that's exactly what he did when we like tried to bring him to a new daycare where he didn't know them. He would not let them leash him. He just would back up and growl.
Just went into that mode.
Yeah, he just basically, you know, because I had him in like one of our really big areas. And I was like, so I just like had him there, and I just brought him in and out every day, and I just basically that first week and a half, I was like, let me put a leash on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me walk you out.
Baby
Let me
steps.
sit on the cot with you and
leash one's
like
big.
just sit there, you know,
I mean,
yeah, I don't know if it's like
Good
it has
boy.
to do with something around his neck or what, but
yeah, now, you know, like I tell him load up, he loads right up
Oh, he'll
in the
get right in your car?
jumps right in,
Oh,
no
that's
problem.
good.
He sits, he lets me put the leash on him. I tell him, all right, let's go, and
yeah,
he jumps out.
once he trusts
you know, all
he's
that stuff.
great.
Yeah.
you
yeah,
know?
it's true. He trusts
And
completely
most people,
once he
like
does.
most people who come to our house, he's fine with. But
Yeah.
then every once in a while, there's
There's
like
like
one person
he
who
sometimes
tries
picks
to,
up
like,
a vibe
yeah.
too. Like if somebody's like one time my friend Elise came and she's a cat person, like not a dog person.
Yeah.
And she was caught off guard, granted, like she was like walking up the stairs but like she's not like a dog person, so she like froze in like that fear,
And then he's gonna be like, oh.
and he kind of picked up on it, and he wasn't gonna like hurt her or anything, like, but he was just like he took a stance that made him look more intimidating to her, because then she did the wrong thing and tried to like, and I was like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Just
Let him
go
like
about your
come,
business.
you know, yeah, because at first, like, especially the first 3-4 days, it was like he knew me, and like I could tell, like I just walk in, I didn't ignore him. I was like, whatever. I walked in, put his food down, give him
And
water.
I've never seen him like,
like
actively like aggress towards someone. Really, it's more just like if you approach him, he's gonna like.
Yeah, he showed a little teeth, and he was like, I don't want you to like come near me, you know.
We had that happen at the park once.
Yeah.
Someone just came up and just put their hand like first thing, and we learned pretty quickly to just tell people, anybody that was coming up, like just don't.
Yeah.
I know that's what you want to do, but that's with him not the.
I'd say it's actually the opposite of what you're supposed to do. It's just people see it all the they so they're like, oh,
so they put their hand,
they do it, and I'm like,
But to them, that's like,
them,
you're just gonna try to invade my space,
Exactly.
stranger who I don't know.
Yeah, so let me try to scare you a little bit, you know. But overall, great. I mean, like say, like subwoofer. He had a big problem. I just kept walking through parking lots, basically. Yeah. And I was like walking past a bunch of cars, and I was like, "We're gonna do this, buddy. We're just gonna do this." And like just kept walking through. Did he do any lunging with
you at cars or
anything? He did.
He did.
The first few times, he was like, "Ooh," and he like lunged.
Yeah.
And then you know, like got him adjusted, and then I just walked him through a whole bunch of like apartment complexes. I did like a video and stuff.
When he would like lunge like that, would you like redirect like physically, or would it be more of a command sit type of thing?
Yeah, so like
because I had basically tried to take that approach like when I was trying to walk him. Yeah. But for some reason,
he would listen, but then as soon as the car got right here, he couldn't help himself.
So I was always thinking, well, then maybe you need to redirect the attention completely, but I could never like successfully do that.
Yeah, so like what I did first was I built my engagement. Like I just made him like, oh, let's get out of their way. Come on, let's go. I just made him like really want to be with me all the time, basically, right? And I just made it was like, hey, like if you want everything to be super awesome and we go for hikes and have fun, you have to like being with me, right? And you have to pay attention to me. If you're not going to pay attention to me, I can't do that.
Right. If something else is more important than me, then we're not doing this.
We can't go out and do this, right? So like I spent time that first, like week and a half building that engagement, getting the trust, right? And then I just slowly was like, okay, let's walk in front of the house and like let one of my guys drive by. Right? And I was like, we're just gonna do that basic, right? And he was like, he got like kind of amped up, and I was like, and he looked at me, and then as soon as he looked at me, and I like was like, the car doesn't exist, and I just walked away. He was like, oh, okay. And then I just did it that way, where I was like, the car doesn't matter. What matters is me walking away, right?
Because we were probably also alarmed by the car being there and transferring that kind of feeling.
Yeah, and like
we were also focused on the car, I think.
Yeah, like if I'm like staring at that car, right, going by, and like usually it's when they're faster he cares, right? So like that's what like last night I was out late doing stuff, and I was like, come with me, and he just jumped in the car with me. I went to the stores and stuff, and then I don't know if you're familiar, like, well, this is 42 right here, but like when you're going up off the highway, there's all those stores and like really busy, right? So last night, so last night I was like, I gotta go to the store anyways. So I was like, let's go. He came with me, and then I just walked all around and have all these cars going by me, and like he didn't even flinch. He was just like,
That's
whatever,
amazing.
and he just like didn't care at all. And I was like, okay. I was like, so you don't care about the car anymore. I was like, that's what I want. Like I don't even not care, right? Because if I have to redirect him every time, then eventually my redirection is worthless.
Right.
At some point, you know, like maybe it works the first 100 times.
But at some point, you know, that car is going to be more important, right? And at some point he's going to go, well, now your redirection doesn't matter. I'm just going to chase the car. Right? Now I can do what I want.
Exactly, So instead I was like, hey, we're just going to not do any redirection. We're not going to like try to get a treat in front of your face. We're not going to do any of that. I'm just going to say the car doesn't matter. We're just going to walk by the car. If you lunge, I'm going to do nothing. I'm just going to say, whatever, and I'm just going to walk by it. And because I gave no response, eventually he went, man, this just isn't fun anymore. Yeah, it's like not fun anymore. Like, what does this matter? You know?
Makes sense.
But that breakthrough just took a while, where it was like, hey, like, if he doesn't care about the car, I don't care about the car, right? And similar like dogs, like he barked at some dogs and he got a little excited and like lunged at some dogs and stuff. I walked by this dog about 100 times just trying to make sure, like, hey, you care? And that dog barked at us and like kind of pulled, and he was like, whatever. And he just like went by, and you saw like those. That's another client of mine actually. Those two dogs went by and like, you know, doesn't care, right? And all I want is I just want him to sniff, and like if he gets excited, it's fine as long as I can go, Louie, and have him back off, right? Hey, sit, good boy. I know, you're excited, but now it's just excitement, and that's I don't care about that. As long as when I go, hey, let's go, and I just walk.
He's not so excited that he's not controlling.
Like he's not barking and lunging and freaking out.
And it would be
going,
weird.
That's okay.
And not really normal to expect a dog not to
ever
have some excitement at what we just saw.
Exactly.
Like that's okay. That's normal.
Especially like little dogs and stuff. Like I noticed he does care a little more about little dogs because they move a little faster. Right? Their legs are a little faster and they look a little more like prey. Right? And so like dogs sometimes with little dogs will be like, oh my god, I want to chase that. Right?
It's really fun.
But all I care about, like I said, like I didn't pull back, I didn't do a bunch of stuff. I just said, Louie, right? And my is in the moment my correction. Well, that's my basic correction, right?
Gotcha.
And then my nope is like, if you really mess up,
stronger.
And you know, it's kind of like my 3 with my kid, right? If I do 1 is my right? Most of the time I say 1 and my kid goes, oh, sorry, Dad. And he like backs off and like does something else, right? If I'm like, don't touch that, and he tries to touch it, right? Same idea. My is my 1, right? And then if I get to 3, now that's a problem because now you didn't listen to me and you messed up.
Now
really
privileges
bad,
are taken
right?
away.
Now you lose the iPad, you lose whatever, right? For him, it's more at that point I would do like an e-collar correction or something, right? Very rarely have I had to do anything. Very rarely.
That's
very rarely.
He's very smart. So I was thinking he probably would learn quickly, but I just didn't know like with how strong sometimes his reactivity is if he'd need the e-collar much.
Very rarely. Like maybe this whole time we've been working together, I probably pushed it maybe 8 times.
Pretty good
which
for
is
6
pretty
weeks.
good. Like it's pretty good, you know. And it was simply like I didn't even put the e-collar on him for the first couple weeks because I didn't want to freak him out. So I just simply did leash walking and just normal stuff. And then the e-collar I introduced after the first couple weeks, and then from there he already knew my command, like he understood. So then I just took my e-collar and said, okay, now if you really don't listen, I'm going to reinforce my note with my e-collar.
How do you respond to it?
I had to find his level. Like at first, he just like looked at me and was like,
what?
Like, what was that? And I was like,
give you that sass.
Yeah, he was like, I don't care about that. And I was like, okay. So I just adjusted it. He never freaked out. He never got nervous with it.
I was wondering if
or anything like that.
Nervous, yeah.
Yeah, but that's also why I waited a couple weeks, because if I would have put it on him like week 1.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't have gone well.
He probably would have been like, oh my god, and like freaked out, right? Yeah. So like, because he trusts me and like he's engaged and he understands, now when I do that, oh yeah, I know. You like runners too, I know. Ooh. Yeah, that's okay. You can see it. Yeah, see? Good boy.
No big deal.
Yeah. And then that, like I said, like, if he gets excited, I don't care if he gets excited, right? As long as he's not yanking me down the road.
Yeah.
And doing everything.
You can tell he's just giving a little bit, like he's not.
Yeah, he's like, like, I want to go see them, right? Which is normal.
But not so
bad. But not to the level he's been where, like, we have to hold his harness with 2 hands and get down on the ground.
Because normally by now his tail would be straight up like a flagpole.
And what I care about because of his nervousness, what I've been really just trying to get him to do is just sniff everything. Because if he's sniffing, he's comfortable.
I see.
If his tail's up and he's staying and he's like doing this, right? Like what I saw at your guys' house, right? Where he was like, oh my god, I'm waiting for the next car, I'm waiting for the next guy, right? Then he's when that happens, right? He's gonna already be here.
Exactly.
And so then he maxes out, and then that's when you're just like
yanking. That's how he just was all the time. Yeah. So I don't like. How do we get him kind of out of that so he doesn't start the walk that way?
Good boy. So one thing that like I just make a big deal about is before I walk out the door or I do anything, I have, and I'll write it out for you guys too before he goes home. I have a little routine that I do, where I go, all right, I get the leash. I don't make a big deal about it. I say, hey buddy, we're gonna go outside, and he's like, oh cool, and he comes over to the door, and I say sit. I put the leash on, and if I open that door and he tries to move, I go, we don't do that. And I give him an and he's like, oh, and he has to sit there.
He has to wait.
And when I open that door, he does not move.
He's not allowed to
until
go
I
out.
say break.
Okay.
Right? And when I go, all right, break, he's like, oh, and he goes outside, but it starts here.
Yeah.
It's funny that
it's very slow.
I actually, and it's so silly because I didn't even. Maybe it didn't even occur to me, or maybe I just was too exhausted, from him or something to do that, like for walks. But every time I would let him outside, and usually maybe more than half the time, when I'm letting him out my back door, it's because he's going crazy and I need a break. But I would do that every time. I would still make him sit.
But
so
honestly,
that he wasn't.
Jim, he doesn't calm down before he goes out.
No, he's still.
It's just funny.
He'll listen.
Yeah.
He'll sit.
He'll
But then
listen
as soon as you open that door, he's out the door.
Yeah.
No, he definitely would. As soon as I open the door.
Yeah, and that's the bigger part is like. In my dogs, I do the same routine. Every client dog, like I do the same routine with it because it keeps it where the dog understands, like, oh, I can't just bolt and go crazy. Right. Walks are fun, but they're structured, and they do have like a purpose, right? Yeah. My walk's purpose is exploration, sniffing, and getting energy out, right?
Sniffing.
Oh yeah, he loves sniffing.
Look at him go.
And like this is what I want to see with a nervous dog, right? Because it keeps the nerves way down here.
Yeah.
It keeps the excitement lower because he's already at the point where it's like, hey, I go outside, no big deal, whatever, right? We see stuff. I can be excited sometimes, but if this guy says, oh, don't do that, then I go, oh, okay, no big deal. Like, we'll just do something else, right? Yeah. Because at home, we can play, we can do whatever. I don't care. We'll play ball, we'll run around, we'll wrestle on the ground. I don't care, right? But when I say that's enough, we're done, and I want you to, like, do something, then I expect it to flip, right? And that expectation's now in his head where he's like, oh, sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's not always fun, right? Sometimes I just have to calm down and be around.
Lucky to be able to do it. I look forward to doing it.
Exactly. It's a reward in its own, right? Because now he's like, okay, the rewards of this guy taking me out all the time and having fun is happening because I'm calm at the door. Yeah. I get in the car. When I open the crate he does not bolt out. He waits.
He waits for you.
And
to
I
come.
go, hey, we're gonna put the leash on first.
Yeah.
We're gonna put your collar on. And then I say, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay. And he jumps out and he looks at me. That's what I want. I want him to jump out, look at me, and go, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And then I go, all right, like I need to get my backpack on. I gotta do all this stuff. Sit. And I could sit and then get my stuff on, and do whatever, and he just, okay, we're gonna do this, right? Yeah. And then I say, all right, break, and then I can sniff, and he goes off and sniffs. The sniff is the treat, basically.
And ultimately, I think that's that's really where we had been missing this whole time. Is like the dynamic was one where he probably just never felt that there was a leader in the house or the pack, if you will, right? Like, and they need that.
Probably not enough structure. For
and like a little more like, you know, and it's very common where it's like it's the number one
the dog
issue
rules
usually.
The roost.
Where it's like the dog's a great dog overall, but the dog runs out the door.
Right.
They don't pay attention when they're outside. They're pulling people down the road because they're out here and the dog's out there and they're like, oh god, and they're like holding for dear life, right? And like they can't just stand in one spot like this, right? Or like he's like, hey, like I'm chill, I can stand here, and like he might not want to, but he's like willing to sniff in my area and like not pull me all over, right?
And even then, like he was like, I didn't really want to do that, but I can at least go sniff something else.
Exactly. It's not a punishment to stand in one spot, right? You know, and Louie, sit. Good boy. And then, like, I want everything off cue at this point, right? Where I'm like, all right, you know, I tell him to sit, then he can sit there. He can be excited. He can look around. I don't care. Break. Come on. Break. There you go. But then the break is like, okay, now I can sniff and have fun, right? And it's structured and fun at the same time, right? It doesn't have to be military. You're stuck to my side all the time, staring at me like a competition dog and all this. Because not even competition dogs don't even do that 24/7, right? They do that for the show, and they do that for points and all that stuff.
Train for a few weeks up to it to get real tight, and then they get to.
And then they're like, okay, like it's loose, right?
Dog.
Like, you know, and like even like working dogs, like canines and stuff like that. When they're at home, they're just dogs, right? But when they're out doing their stuff, they're stuck, right? It doesn't have to be that, because to them they like that part, but they're bred for that, right? And for him, he wouldn't like that.
It's like the situation. I feel like that's one thing that's easy to miss is it seems like dogs are very like situationally aware and driven. So like whether you're here or, you know, in the parking lot, like there's like a couple factors that are sort of consistent, and if they know what to do in those, you know, limited circumstances, it can be the same anywhere you are.
Exactly. Yeah, it just has to be generalized enough, right? And that's why like the proofing's really important, and like and everything.
What does proofing mean exactly? Just like making sure it's sticking?
Yeah, so basically it's like, hey, right now, like this whole week and next week, I'm going to as many possible places I can. Right. And I'm running the same drills over and over. And I'm saying, hey, like, do you mess up here? Do you mess up there? Proofing the area, just like people, right? Like, we learn from failure at some point, right? We learn our basics as kids. And then once we hit, like, that teenage area and, like, young adult, you start making mistakes and you learn from the mistakes, and then you go, oh, I did that before, so that went really bad, so this time I do it this way, right? Dogs are very similar, it just happens faster, right? So they go, okay, now I know my commands, I know what I'm supposed to do, but if I go to Lowe's, do I fail? Right. And if I fail, what happens? Right? If I get away with the failure, then I'll fail at Home Depot too, or I'll fail at Tractor Supply or whatever, right? But if I fail and somebody corrects me for it, and then shows me what to do to get the right thing, now when I go to the next place, I succeed faster. And then proofing is just fail, succeed, fail, succeed, fail, succeed, right? So that in his mind, he goes, okay, all right, now when I do this, this, and this is bad, this is good, right? This is bad, this is good. And then dogs will learn, avoid the bad and do the good, right? Because part of it's selfish. Good gives excitement, right? And so if the dog learns, like, oh, to get all the good things, I do this, right? they'll always do that thing to get the selfish good thing.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Well, and it's so evident, especially in the house. It's like, well,
yeah.
if my owners aren't correcting me and I just am behave in a way that we don't want, but we still give him attention.
We still let him go out in the
still
backyard.
let him do these things. Then more of that. This works.
And then at some point, the dog just gets confused, right? And that's where I tell people like,
and that's where we were.
Yeah,
exactly. Before we hooked up with you, because we were. Oh, see, I could use.
Yeah, we can walk this.
I could use some training. I could use a little bit of training.
Yeah, and that's like the number one like kind of problem usually for the core problem, right? Where it's like, hey, I know what is that?
It's my fault.
Where the dog goes, I thought I was doing the right thing. Right? Because when I did that thing, the person gave me what I wanted, right? And then to the person, they're just like, oh, well, I didn't want them to do that thing, but they didn't realize that when the dog didn't sit, they opened the door and the dog ran outside, and so that became the pattern, right? And then all of a sudden, the dog is misbehaving, right? Over here. Give them space. There you go. Not everybody wants to pet.
So if he shows interest, we would just, like he just did, kind of like wanting to go towards them, you just give a slight correction and like go